So hi folks, and welcome back to my Let's Play of the mopping up scenario in the V for Victory game Utah Beach. Now it is 2 a.m. on June 30th, so it's the second night turn, and we are resting these units up here. So if we have a quick look at these again, you can see that their disruption and fatigue is pretty high. So we're going to be resting those units and continuing to rest them. In the meantime, the 39th Regiment here is actually looking pretty tired, so I am going to leave those units where they are as well. I'm going to let those guys rest up a bit, and I'm going to move them forward to get ready for an attack on Greville at another turn, on a daylight turn. But I'm not going to actually have them attack Greville until I have isolated this area. So I'm going to move my prime part that I'm going to do here is continuing to move the armoured units up round here to cut the German forces off. And over here, with the mechanised reconnaissance unit, I'm going to start to actually just explore some of these areas that are still under German control. And I'm just going to kind of do a circular reconnaissance, as crazy as that may seem. I just want to make sure that these hexes don't become issues for drawing supply routes back to the HQ. So I'm just going to kind of do this big circle around, and I'm going to ultimately bring this unit over to here because I want to see if there are any German units, particularly in this hex here. But it will also reveal if there's anything that has crept in over here. So that's what I'm going to do that circle there. I'm going to keep this unit here. Although I might actually bring it round even further. No, I'll just leave it where it is. I think that'll be fine. But I will continue to do just some soak-off artillery attacks on that. And I'll do the artillery in a short moment. So the main piece for this turn is over here. Now, this unit is looking in pretty good condition. It doesn't need to be rested, so I'm actually going to bring that unit up to Beaumont there. And the two armoured units are both fully rested, so they are going to move forward into there as well in preparation for an attack on that armoured unit there. And we know nothing about that other than it's an armoured unit. Now these other two 60th battalions, they're looking okay. I'm going to leave the one that has a fatigue of 3 where it is. And the other battalion I'm going to move over into Beaumont, I think. So I'm actually going to move that one over into Beaumont. And what I'm actually going to do with this one instead is actually move that over there into the clear. So we've got a line of the 60th Infantry Regiment will form kind of like a defensive line here. So we are protecting any units that do try and attack to come through. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's just have a quick look at that. So yeah, we're stacked up there ready to exploit and come through with our armoured units. We're clearing this area here. We're just monitoring this unit with this reconnaissance company. And we're going to rest all of these units because I really want to bring them forward on the 6 a.m. turn to start attacking these. Maybe on the 10 a.m. turn. It will depend on when we get these isolated. I don't want to expend too much in terms of combat resources until these German units have been subjected to being out of supply for a few turns. Now the HQ is getting a bit far away. Now the HQ, we can have, I think it's a distance of about 12 hexes away from our furthest frontline unit. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if I do start to exploit through here, and look to take this town here. I'm going to pronounce it completely wrong, I'm sure, but Digolville, I'm not sure. Anyway, if we do get down to here, the HQ really does need to come forward. Now, if the enemy artillery does start to interdict supply, that distance of 12 can reduce down, and I think it can reduce down with heavy interdiction down to about 7. It's not too bad at the moment, but I will just take the opportunity to bring the HQ up. And I'm just going to do strategic movement. I'm going to bring it up to that town there, and it's pretty safe. You know, the only unit that could come over and try and attack is this one here, but they're in this fortified position. And I incorrectly said that these units were dug in. If it's a ×2 multiplier shown on these, and that's a multiplier on their defense, and that is actually an indication that these are called fortified units or fortifications. And ×2 fortifications can only be built by engineer units. If a unit digs in, then if they've had sufficient time to dig in, then their dig in status goes to a maximum of ×1.5. So I incorrectly said they were dug in. They're not. They are in engineer built fortifications. Okay, so that's the ground units moved to where I want them to be. And what we're going to do is just have a look at the artillery now. It's got a fatigue of 8. I'm going to leave that unused this turn. This one is okay. So I'm actually going to use this because I do want to keep harassing this unit. I don't want to let it get any opportunity for its fatigue and disruption to recover. And I want to keep nibbling away at it. That's got a fatigue of 4. I may just use it there. Let's have a look at the odds. 0.2. And that one is these. Oh, okay. So these two here, 6 fatigue, 4 fatigue. I'm going to let those two rest so we can have them at full strength for taking out those units. This one here, I might just use that for one turn. No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to do as light an artillery attack on that as possible. So we're using only a couple of units. So that is that unit there and that unit there. Yeah, that's fine. So that's our longest range unit. No, I'm going to rest that unit because I want to use that over to attack some of these units once we start this exploitation. So I'm going to have just one unit attacking, which is fine. There's no air power because it's nighttime. So we will execute. Here we go. 0.2. Okay, we didn't do. Our performance wasn't very good. That's okay. Okay, so our 60th have moved up into that line. Well, the armoured unit moved around. That's interesting. And this unit here, okay, it took 2% casualties and they retreated, which is actually fine. I'm quite happy for them to do that. So we'll go to the planning phase, and it's the morning. So 6 AM on the 30th. So first of all, we want to look at our HQ supply. We are in general supply, and if I keep clicking through, general is the maximum we can go for. So we'll keep that at general. Down in the orders, what you'll notice here is that the replacements have increased. When you got a plus here, that indicates that the replacement value is now over 99. These boxes can't show 3 digits, so when it gets greater than 99, it goes to plus, which I think is kind of like a, I don't know whether it's an infinity symbol it's supposed to represent, but it just means it's greater than 99. So that's all I want to say there. And the other thing we need to do on the 6 AM turn is look at our calendar and allocate ground support aircraft. Now, as you can see here, the first 2 turns of the day are extremely cloudy, so there's absolutely no point having aircraft assigned to those first 2 portions, those first 2 daylight turns. And the reason for that is because when it's like that, the chances of a mission actually going ahead, the percent chances dramatically drops off. Plus, if you do get a mission, the chances of a mistaken attack, as in it hitting your own units, dramatically increases. So we'll turn that one off, and I'll just click on the aircraft symbol there. So we'll turn that one off, and look at this figure down here. It goes from 2 to 3. So just focusing our requests for ground support aircraft to these the 3rd and 4th turns, daylight turns, hopefully means we'll get far greater chance of those missions actually going ahead. So that's those 2 bits done, our daily activities. So now we can go ahead and have a look at our movement for this turn. Okay, so the 47th Infantry are recovering. Still not great though. That one's not too bad, but these ones have still got a total of 10. They were 19 before, if you remember. But we've got a total of 10 there, so we're still losing a third of our combat strength due to fatigue and disruption. So I'm actually going to rest all 4 of those units for another turn. Now the 39th here, they're rest, as far as I'm concerned, you know, the worst one there is this one with just 1 disruption on 1 fatigue. That is good enough. So I'm going to move these forward, basically in preparation for a future attack on Greville here. So I'm going to move those forward there. And I'm putting the 2 battalions in the clear. So we get as much defensive strength just from the size of the units because it's clear terrain. There's no defensive bonuses, and so the single unit I'm going to put into the fortification. There's no point putting 2 units in the fortification, so the single unit will get a great defensive bonus from the fortification, whereas the other 2 units will, just from their size, will provide a defensive benefit. Down here we will bring our reconnaissance company up just to keep tabs on this unit here, and I'm actually going to bring the larger mechanized reconnaissance over to here. Since we didn't find any units in this area, I don't think we're going to get, I'm hoping we're not going to get any units that are going to rush into Vorville. Now I guess this armored unit could, but I'm going to attack it this turn. And hopefully we will take that unit out. Do we know anything about it? No, but we will see. So as we'll be attacking it, I don't think it's going to get a chance to rush into Vorville. So we'll block this unit in. We'll do a little bit more artillery on it. And hopefully by this time, because its defense strength will have dramatically dropped because it's been out of supply for so long, hopefully we might be able to get rid of it. Maybe it will surrender. We will see. So let's have a look at this central section. So as I say, I'm going to do an assault with no advance. No, yeah, with the tank destroyer, which has got an anti-tank strength of 13, and we'll get our odds up. So that's not too bad, 4.4. And I'm going to throw the infantry battalion into that attack, and I'm going to let it advance if it wants to. Yeah, nice. So that brings the odds up dramatically. So what am I doing with that one? Assault no advance. Yeah, that's fine. The other tank unit here, the 746th, I'm going to bring through, and I want to kind of try and come down here to cut this area off so I take these units out of supply. So I'm going to do tactical movement forward with that, and I'm going to come through here. And that's the furthest I can get. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the zone of control of this coastal artillery battalion, but it does mean I'm going through the zone of control of that. I'm actually going to change that, and yeah. Okay, well that's a bit better, isn't it? And that was because I was trying to have two moves through. I was trying to go twice through that zone of control, hence it ate up my movement allowance. So, but doing that seems to work. But I suspect it's going to stop here if it does get affected by the zone of control of this one. But if I can throw enough artillery onto this, I think if you get it over 0.25 or 0.3 the odds, then it can actually eliminate the zone of control of the unit you're attacking if you throw enough artillery onto here. So I'll come on to that in a moment. These 2 units, yeah, we don't know what's going on here. It looks like this area is clear. So what shall I do with these 2? I think I'm going to bring them down just one. So we're going to kind of just squeeze this area a bit more tightly. I'm a bit wary about just assuming we can rush forward. What would that look like? I might actually bring, I'm actually going to bring that 60th down to there. So how's that going to look? Okay, I think that'll be fine. I'm happy enough with that. So let's bring in some artillery in now. So the fatigue there is at 2, so that's okay. So let's keep nibbling away at that. And wow, look, the odds are greatly increasing on that now. Its defensive strength is really dropping off because its supply level is dropping down because it's been out of supply for so many turns. So just all I need to do is just apply 1 artillery strike to that. Now I need, as I say, to try and negate the zone of control of that unit. So I'm going to use, can't use that one. I need my greatest range, 0.3. Can I get any other artillery onto that? No, I can't. That's the only artillery unit I can get down there. Blast. Okay, so we'll leave that one on there and hopefully that will do something. I'm going to conserve these 2 units, I think. No, I'm not. It's daylight, so I want to actually nibble away at that one a little bit more, I think. No, I don't. I actually want to nibble away at Greville because that's our victory location. Oh, I want to turn that one off. Come on, turn off. Ah, scrub. And then bring that. Oh, it's too far. I can't reach that point. All right, so we'll just do a small artillery strike there with that unit. That one's going to attack there. This one is the range of 14. So I want to keep attacking Greville and just keep weakening the strength of the units in there. That's attacking down there. And this one, I'm actually going to support the armoured attack over here. So if we go to planning, show plan moves. Yeah, so we've got all of our artillery units involved. I'm happy enough with that. And let's now bring in ground. We can't bring in ground support because I haven't got any for these first 2 turns. The weather is just way too cloudy. So that's it. Let's execute. Oh, poor and poor. So that's really, and 0.2, that's not going to do much. They're both equal performance. So that's not going to do much. Okay. 15.6 isn't great. Ah, the unit vanished. Looks like I destroyed it. Okay, so let's see what happened. Oh well, let's go through these. Right, 1% casualties on that unit, so we're just nibbling away. We're nibbling away at that one. Fantastic, yeah, we destroyed that armoured unit. So that's good, and we only did lost 1% casualties over here. Great, they suffered 15% casualties, but they retreated 2 hexes. I wish they wouldn't keep running away. I have to keep chasing after them. And I wish they would just surrender. And over here, oh, blast. One thing, I can't remember if I've mentioned this. One thing I double checked on is if a unit is within 2 hexes of an allied unit and you do an artillery strike on it that has odds of 1 or more, then it will be resolved as normal combat, not interdiction. So, but that doesn't apply to if you're attacking an HQ with artillery alone. So it is possible to do artillery strikes on units that are actually not directly in contact with one of your units if you get the odds greater than 1. So that's worth knowing about. That really didn't do anything. Blast. Okay, next turn. Let's see what we can do this time. Right, down here. Okay, we will need to keep our kind of blocking going on this unit. Can I bring him around to here? Yeah. And over here, I'm going to bring him onto there. So that will just flank either side of that unit. Over here, we have, oh, we've done some good exploitation. Look at this. Fantastic. That worked because that artillery unit, he retreated. Wonderful. So what we now need to do is actually completely cut off this area. But if I click on there, okay, we've got the green line came up, which means we've still got a good supply line coming through, but it's a bit tenuous. So I'm going to bring this armoured unit up, not through that route. I'm going to bring this armoured unit up and get it into there. to secure our supply line, and I'm going to move that armoured unit there so that we cut off supply to this entire area. So that's good with that. What are the odds looking like with just a single battalion attacking? Not very good. So I'm just going to leave that for now. Doesn't look like there's anything else over here, so I'm actually going to, I think, open up an area here by bringing the 60th over. I don't want to open up this area really, but I really don't think these units have got sufficient mobility to really make a major thrust through here. So I'm just going to assume they're not going to rush through here. Hopefully not. Armor's coming down there, that armor's going over there. Now what happens if we attack there? Okay, not good odds. So I'm just going to leave that for now. Rest that unit. It will still regain some fatigue and disruption. It will recover a little bit even though it's in an enemy zone of control. It's just at a reduced rate. So I'm just going to rest that one until we can bring further units up to reinforce it. All I want to do is pin it down for now. I want to get through and take, I don't know how you pronounce that, Hague, something like that. I really want to get through and take that as soon as possible. Maybe I should just try and bring that 60th through. That's going to be strategic movement, isn't it? Yeah. I'm actually going to do that. I'm actually going to try and bring the 60th up in preparation for moving over to there. Maybe I should just bring the 60th up there and actually, instead of having that 899th, use the armor to exploit through there. Can I get through there with tactical movement? No. Blast. But I think it might be worth trying a major rush. What about if I try that? I don't know what's along the coast here, so we could get ambushed by doing that, which I'm a bit leery about. They've lost a bit of, they've got a bit of fatigue and disruption. I don't want to overly extend that, so yeah, I'm actually going to do some tactical movement down here, and then I'm going to attack that artillery unit with my armor. Get rid of that artillery unit and then move into there. What does that look like? Okay, let's move back up. Yeah, okay, that's okay. That's a fixed unit. It can't move. So it's not going to be able to kind of come through here or do anything over there. I think I'm okay with that. So in terms of artillery now, okay, we've got our longest range. Can't get over to there. Blast, that artillery is really struggling now to do anything to get to a decent position. So I'm going to keep going up that unit with that artillery. This one here. I think we'll throw our two strongest artillery units onto there. I really want to keep weakening this here because that's one of the stronger units in terms of the fact that it's got 2 units in that hex and it's fortified. Now, these are going to be tough, so I really just want as well. So I just really want to let these reduce naturally through being out of supply. So how's our fatigue on these artillery units? So they're all looking pretty good, but we are beginning to lose range. So I'm just going to keep going, doing a bit more damage on here. Now our 18, I'm actually going to bring up because I really would like to have some future artillery being able to come up into that area. So I'm actually going to bring our 18 range unit. Okay, well, up to there is fine. Now the thing is, when I do that, it takes 2 turns for the unit to become ready again, so I won't be able to use that unit for 2 turns, but yeah, that's the price you pay. and all of the artillery units, other artillery units are being used. Do I need to bring my HQ up? If the armor's going there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it should be okay as long as I get no interdiction. No, I think the HQ's fine where it is. But heck, you know, there's nothing to threaten it. I'm going to move it up another couple of hexes. And I think that is it. We've got no air. And so let's execute. I hate it when the performance is equal. Come on, excellent, excellent again. Come on. Outstanding. So we did really well on that one. Oh, retreated yet again before we could even get to those flanking positions. That is annoying. 15% casualties just through that artillery strike. Well, that's good. I just wish it would surrender and so release these 2 units. I would like to be able to get these 2 units freed up so I can bring them up to support here. But it's not happening. Okay, this one, 3% casualties. That's pretty good for just a small artillery strike. 3 and 3 on both of those. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good, yeah. Okay, so we have now cut all of these German units off. So I don't really want to waste attacking these for a turn or 2. So what I'm going to do is these units are now completely rested. As you can see, the fatigue and disruption has dropped right off. I'm going to move that one up to there, both of those. And I'm going to move both of these units up to there to get ready for a future strike on that. Here, let's just see what the current odds are. Yeah. That might be worth doing because it is a daylight turn. It's not bad odds, and I can supplement it with some artillery. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to attack right now. Over here, yeah, my company's not going to do much with that. So again, I need to... This pesky infantry unit is really trying to threaten Vauville. And I don't want to keep rushing through, moving through a zone of control. So I'm going to bring that round and try and actually... stop this unit retreating through me. Okay, down here, I want this unit to take Joburg or Hurburg. I'm not really, again, don't know how you pronounce it. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to bring the other 60th over to here so we can get a 2 battalion attack on this artillery company. Yeah, at the moment it's not very good. Odds because it is in a fortified position. Very high morale. A morale of 8 is very high, so that will weigh in their favour. Now this armoured unit, I just want to explore forward because we've got Orderville over here, and that is our kind of final victory point objective that we want to take. So I want to kind of move the armoured unit forward and just see what that unit is. And can we do an attack on this? No. Again, I'm going to wait for a turn or 2 to get these out of supply and let their defense values drop off. And I think, yeah, and I'm going to leave the HQ here because I don't want to start extending the 47th lines too far. Not just yet. Okay, so we moved this artillery unit forward last turn, and you can see down here now it says ready 2, which means it will be ready in 2 turns. So I can't use that one, but I will use this artillery unit again. I want to keep harassing this infantry unit. And hopefully it won't retreat 2 hexes into Vauville. That would be very frustrating. Over here they are moving forward. Yeah, just double check where everything is going. Yeah, no, that's good. This artillery unit can't get to there. See, that's the only one it can attack. I'm going to actually let it rest for 1 turn so that when we do attack with the 47th, this is going to support it at full barrage strength. But here I'm going to support this attack with artillery as much as possible. Let's do as much damage as we can. And we've got air support now because it's the third daylight turn. So, whoops, let's get the air back up. And I'm going to really try and get this one destroyed if we can. So 39% chance of occurring. So still pretty good chance of occurring. 18% chance of mistaken attack, which isn't very good. The flak strength is 8. No, that's okay. I'm going to put that on there. And the bomber, if we can get a bomber, I would like to... I'm not going to attack any more of these units until, as I say, the supply levels drop off. What about this one over here now? 0.1. Ooh, 12.6. Because they are exposed on a beach. Yeah, we're going to try and do a bomber attack over there. That looks good. Okay, let's execute. Oh, well, okay. It says they won, but we got 6-1 odds. I think we've probably still came out very well there. They just will not die. Oh goodness, we didn't get our bomber strike on that unit at the top there. Let's see, 23% casualties. How many of them are left? Good grief. Yeah, we took 4% casualties. You know, you could, yeah, I guess it was a German victory. They still took 10% casualties. Oh, blast. Look, a couple of our units had to retreat. That is not good. That is really not good. Which means we can't launch an attack on the final daylight turn because we've only got one unit in here. So we're just going to have to bring these both back up. So this is one of the disadvantages of not waiting for the supply or the outer supply to kick in on these units. They still are pretty resilient, but that will die off very quickly after a couple more turns. So I may just wait. Well, I'm going to have to wait to attack that one. But the 47th and the engineer unit, I think over here, they've been out of supply for one turn now. And if I put everything into that attack, these units are all fully rested at foot. They're now at full strength. We've got odds of 12.1 to 8. It could be lower, much lower, but I'm not unhappy with those odds. So I'm going to leave that attack going ahead. Over here, I just want to make sure we don't lose Vorville. And we're just going to keep flanking this, keep tracking that infantry unit. We're not getting any more information on it. That's because we're not doing any ground attacks, I suppose. But yeah, there can't be much left of that unit. It must be at least at... Well, we must have had at least 50% casualties in total by now. And being out of supply for so long, its defense strength must be pitiful. So what are we going to do? Dealt with those units, dealt with those units. So what are we going to do up here? Can we get decent odds on that artillery unit? They're not bad. They're not bad. Yeah, I'm actually going to attack with that. That's pretty good odds. We may see if we can throw an artillery strike onto that as well. But what I want to do is I want to keep this 60th unit on the road because I want to be able to move it forward afterwards. I don't want to have it move in. So I'm going to change that assault to an assault with no advance. Okay, so we've taken Joburg or Joburg. But we have just one more victory location to take, Orderville. So I'm going to keep moving up. We still don't know what that unit is, and it's got itself into a fortified position. So I'll bring that 746th tank unit up, and I think we are going to try and attack over here and we want to get into Orderville. So I'm going to keep and bring the 899th tank destroyer unit up to there. And if we can take out this company artillery unit, then both 60 battalions can move on up. And I just want to see what we can do over here. No, nothing yet. We'll just leave that as is. I may actually just move that round to there. just to widen the ownership of the number of hexes in this area. This is a real bottleneck in this area. At the moment, we've only got the hexes that we own are only 2 hexes wide for supply to run through. And I may just move this up a couple more hexes just because we are really pushing the limits of the supply line here. So what is that looking like? Okay, they're moving up, taking that one out, covering here, bringing the 39th back, and we are doing one more attack over here. Okay, so artillery. This unit is getting fatigued, but I'll rest it overnight. But we've got to keep at that unit. Fatigue on this is climbing quite high, and I don't really think it's going to do much. But let's really let's just kind of really wear these artillery units out on these last daylight turns, and then rest them overnight, or maybe move them forward overnight even. But yeah, let's really try and hammer on that unit there. Let's really try and get rid of that unit. That way we can start moving forward with the 47th. And in terms of ground support aircraft, hopefully we can get another good weather conditions turn. Well, reasonably so anyway. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm going to put the fighter on there. Those odds are really all over the place. So I'm going to throw everything I can at that hex. And in terms of the bomber, I really would like to get rid of this company so we can free up the 60th Battalion. So I'm going to try and put a bomber onto there. And there's no flak. So I think that's it. Let's execute. 9.6, that's pretty good. 1.5. Again, don't retreat into the forefield. Oh, they had outstanding performance. That's just typical. And look, it's the unit that just does not want to die. Good grief. Other 8% casualties, and they keep surviving and retreating. Oh man. Over here. Okay, well that's pretty good. We didn't get the fighter support, which might have taken this one out, but weak resistance, 57% casualties. Okay, happy enough with that. And over here, they took 38% casualties, and we only took 3%. And we've found their HQ. We've identified that finally. Excellent planning. Nighttime. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep moving up, and I want to now move this round because I don't want it trying to get to our HQ. So I'm going to again just try flanking that, and we'll maybe throw another another artillery strike onto it. I don't know. These are still pretty rested. A fatigue of only 3 and 4, so we will continue our attack on this unit here. Without any artillery support, we've got odds of 7 to 9. That's pretty good. We'll just keep on with that. And yeah, I'm wondering, there's no other units seem to be over here. And I'm wondering whether I should just bring this 60th forward to support the attack over here. Well, let's see what odds we're getting over here first of all. If I do the tank destroyer onto that, 6.5 to 1. That's pretty good. And I think I'll do that for the first night turn at least. And this one onto there, yeah, it's uphill. The HQ's in a fortified position. We've got no information on it. But yeah, those odds are not good. So I'm actually not going to do that. What I might try and do, no, I was going to see whether I can move forward, but then this unit's very likely to start getting out of supply. So I think I might just rest it there, or should I bring it up to here so we lose? Because if I do this and then look at the odds details, you can see the terrain's at -3. And that's knocking one off our odds because I'm attacking uphill. What I might actually do is just move this into a slightly more advantageous position. That way we eliminate the hill issue. So let's do that. So that's fine. That's fine. We need to do something with this. Oh man, I think I'm actually going to bring it forward. I really want to. It'd be great if we could assist in taking out that HQ. And that's doing strategic movement. I don't want to do that. Tactical movement. Okay, we'll just move it up. Leave it at that. No, actually, no. What am I thinking? If I change that to strategic, I'll at least be able to get one hex closer. I don't want to obviously do strategic into there because they could ambush me. So we're going to do that. I'd like to know what people's thoughts are on my fear over being ambushed. Am I worrying unnecessarily? You know, the ambush is really that bad. I had, as I say, I had seen some times when it's been up to 30% damage caused by an ambush. Okay, so see that? Look, supply is now becoming an issue here because it's running a supply route through this road, and I've now got an orange line on supply, which means, goodness, that means it's 2 levels below its normal supply. So that's now down at minimal supply. Goodness, that's why its attack strength is so low. So I'm kind of caught between two ends here. I'm trying to do this long route of supply through to these units and also the long route of supply up to the units at the front up there. They're down here. How many hexes? 1. What's the supply route through there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can bring the HQ back a bit. Yeah, let's bring the HQ back to there and try and get the supply levels for these up. That's not good. That is not good. What if I try and attack with those? Well, they're still at a high enough supply that I'm getting decent odds, really good odds still. So I'm still going to do the attack, but I definitely need to bring their supply level back up. These units here, I may just do one attack on a night turn because these units are all pretty rested still. What's that looking like? Nearly 6-1. Yep, I'm going to keep hammering at that. They'll be out of supply for another turn. So what are we looking like here? Okay. Fatigue of 10. Okay, dear. Do you know what? I'm not actually going to do that because that might cause this one to retreat even further, and it's getting really annoying with the movement of that unit. So I'm actually just going to leave that unit untouched. I'm going to put my units around it to flank it. I'll isolate it, keep it isolated. Yeah, who knows? It may surrender anyway. As for this one, its fatigue is 10. Its range is 14, so it can still support all of this area. So I'm going to leave it where it is, but rest it up. This one's got fatigue of 8. Range of 14, so I'm going to leave it where it is because it can support all of the attacks on these. These 2 units, what attacks am I doing? I'm doing both of those attacks. And what are the odds looking like for each one? Which one's got the worst? This one's got the worst. So 8 and a fatigue of 3. So I'm actually going to put... I can't use it on that one. Oh, blast. So I'll do another attack there. Do I let this one rest or let it do a little bit of additional artillery support over here? Yeah, because I'm going to move these forward soon. I'll tell you what, I'm not actually going to do that. I'm going to move one of these forward. We need to start getting these artillery units further forward so that they can start supporting the attacks over here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Let's execute. Okay, that turned out well. Oh, I think they've gone. That didn't turn out too well. That one. And that. Oh no, excellent performance and poor on the Allies' side. That is not what I want. Good odds, and yeah, it turned out not too bad. 4.6 odds. Okay, okay, a bit of a mixture of results there. So let's have a quick look before we end the video. Yes, okay, we've destroyed the unit there. Fantastic. So now we can start bringing the 47th forward along the coast and clear out those other areas. 12% casualties in the town and 5% on our side. Blast. And the 39th retreated yet again. And that unit is driving me nuts. It keeps moving. Oh, I can't have this. I'm really going to have to do something about that. So the next turn is a daylight turn. We are going to hammer that unit. Over here. 1% casualties on our side. Oh, that was a German artillery attack. Oh, it must be that unit over there. And our attack here. Great, we took out the coastal. Well, it wasn't a coastal artillery. We took out the artillery company that was sitting there in that fortification. Great, so we've cleared out that area. Fantastic. And then up here, we took 3% casualties. They took 11 and they retreated. Unfortunately, it now means that the two units here are both in fortifications, which is annoying. Well, let's go on to planning. It's still nighttime. That's it, folks. I think we'll stop there as we're just over 45 minutes. We'll start again in the next video. It will be the last video as we clear out these last few pockets. And we will be starting on the 2 a.m. turn of the 1st of July. So thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope you're enjoying this. If you like this video, please click that. Please just take a second and click that thumbs up. It really does help me out. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.